this video, we're going to check out the pattern view on the SQUARP HAPAX. Make sure to familiarize yourself with the basics before watching this video. If you haven't already done so, there's a couple of other tutorials that explains the sequencing. So to enter into pattern view, we press this pattern button here. We can see I already have patterns here. So the way you want to look at this is track 1, and it can have 8 different patterns. These are my different synths wired into MIDI. We can see on this screen, we have all the different patterns. If I press play right now, it's showing that it's playing here. There's no actual patterns playing here. We can see where the cursor is on each of the tracks here. So each pattern can have a max of 32 bars, but in this video I'm just going to use 1 bar just to keep things kind of shorter so we don't have to sit through entire patterns. If I wanted to take the drums, say, and move it, hold it down, and then you press the left or right, and you can see it's actually moving it. So right now we're in performance mode. I can press any of the patterns to trigger them. So if I press play here, we're going to hear what I have under track 1. Let's say I want to add track 2 here, which is my JP08 on this pattern. Let's turn on this one. Now we can see it says synchronize 1 bar, so I can make it like in 3 bars it's going to add this one and get rid of this one. Now let's turn these off. When that's done, it's going to switch. Let's add this. Now if I want to add this entire line here, I just press right here. Now I just want to stop it. I'm just going to press this. Now we can see it stopped. Let's just leave synchronization at 1 bar. And let's put in this drum here. Press these 2 patterns. Maybe add this, turn that off. Turn off the drums. Add that clip. So there's also the function while everything's playing, I can hold down mute and then any of the tracks here, and it's just going to make them mute. But now all those are off, so I'm going to re-enable everything. So currently we can only have 8 patterns here. If you want to use a blank pattern instead of muting, the only way to currently do that is just choose a blank pattern, and then that kind of leaves you with 7 different patterns. From this screen, if I just hold down the track, I can change the direction by turning this. So let's say we want to go to reverse instead. Hold it down and make it go forward again. So we can do that while we're performing. Now if we press the pattern button again here, we can see it's switching from section to song. So before we can make a song, we have to create sections. So what are sections? Well, sections are, let's say I just want this pattern to play, everything else blank. So no drums, no synths. Just this synth is going to be playing. So that's a section. So make sure we're on section. It'll say save section. Just push down on the knob and it'll just automatically name it section A. Let's just do save. Now I can go up here to launch it, or I can go down here, it says save selection. So save selection, let's add another synth in here. So let's save it by pressing the knob. Auto named it section B, save. Okay. Now I want to add, let's add all the instruments. So let's save that section. Now I want everything blank again, and then just this synth. So we're going to add that section. Next we're going to add, let's see, let's just do these. Let's turn these off. Just this. So let's call that section E. We can scroll and see everything here. If we forget where we are, we just go back to it. So I just push down on the knob and now we're in that section. Let's say I want this section, but I want to remove the drums. So I'm just going to remove the drums here. So drums down here. Now I'm going to hold down second and then push down. And now we can change some settings here. So I just want to override it with this one without the drums. So override. And now if we listen to it, no drums. We can switch to this one. And then section E, which is just this. Now we just choose all of these. Save section. That's section F. Let's listen to it. Okay, now let's go to a clear row and just do these two synths. Well, actually, let's just do this synth here. Let's make that a section. Save section, save. That's G. I'm going to add this synth here. Save that. That's going to be just this. And then all of the tracks, let's do that into a section. So now we have all of these sections here. And I can just go through, switch between them. So if I press pattern again, now we have add section to song. So if I click down, we can add any of these sections. Let's just add section A. And now it says set time, so we can make it, I want that to play 2 times. And there it is. Now we have to change mode up here to song play or song loop. I'll just do song play for now. Now we can see a dotted line here. And that's where we're at right now. So if I move up, section A, move down, dotted line. So let's click down on the dotted line. Now we can add another section. So let's do section B. Let's make that play. Well, actually, if I hold down the knob and I turn, I can change it to any amount of steps. So this is cool. So I could play 9 steps on that one, and I can add another one that's 1 bar, for example. Let's add section C. We'll do that for 2 bars. We can listen to it. Let's just go back here, click in, launch. Now it's there, and press play. And we can see what we did here. So that's 2 bars. Okay, so that was cool. And then it stopped. So that's all we have right now. So let's just keep adding sections. Let's go D. We'll do that for 2 bars. Add section E, 1 bar. And then we're going to do section F. We'll do that 3 bars. Who knows what this is going to sound like? I'm just kind of playing around with it. But you can really sit here and start to compose a song this way. So launch here, and then I press play. Now it's going to play from that section. Now move down. Okay, so let's say section E. I wanted to change the time of that. It's just 1 bar. I want it to be 3 bars. So let's launch from there, press play. Way better. So yeah, you can just modify things and see if when we're scrolling, if you're right here, that means you can just insert a section right here. So you just insert H right there for 1 bar. So let's launch from here just so we can hear what's happening. Interesting. So yeah, this is how you can structure the song. We can also change it to song loop. So let's say it's starting right here because that's where I set it to launch. Let's just set it to launch here. There it is. So now it's looping from the top. So there's some more functions that we can use. If, say, I want to copy this pattern and bring it down here, just hold down copy, press the pattern. Now I hold down paste and then press where I want it to go. If I want to get rid of it, just press delete, and there it goes, it's gone. So let's say I copy this down, paste it down here. Now I can hold down track. Let's change that to beat random. Make sure we're back in a performance view. And then we're just going to play this. If we press step here, we can see it's skipping around. Back to pattern here. So it's the same pattern as up here, except this one's linear. Press down here again. Now it's playing random. Or I could just go in here and maybe transpose it. Press all, make it bring it down to a C. Back to pattern here. So that's another way to make variations really quickly. Let's actually go in and make it an octave higher. Even higher. Switch manually that way, or again we can program that into 2 sections and then arrange it in the song view. Let's replace section A then. So second, push down, override. Now we're going to go back to the song view, go to the top, and now section A is going to be this new track. We're going to have to change the mode to song play. So you can really quickly build song structures and ideas using the pattern view. In this current firmware, we can only have 8 different patterns, but they can each be 32 bars. Since you can do a maximum of 32 bars per pattern, it makes this song view really useful. You can just do intro, verse, chorus, or whatever structure that you want to build. It's really good for that. I'm only using just 3 different patterns per track. When we use a song mode, we can really start working on different sections. You can really start to compose your song step by step using this method, and it's very easy to make a nice structure if you have some nice patterns going on here.